Enter into the dangerous dungeons of myth as a mighty hero and stand against the darkness. Visit the Myth Hub on beastsofwar.com and begin your story. In a world controlled by massive corporations, a steady aim and split-second decisions are needed for your Megacon to complete its goals. Begin your missions at the Mercs Hub on beastsofwar.com.
Hi everybody, welcome back to What's in the Box. Today we're having a look at some Infinity. Right, so John, what are we having a look at?
Today we're having a look at a couple of things for the Pan-Oceania. It's kind of like, it's the sort of the guys I want to go for if I start Infinity. The problem is, you guys over there at Corvus Belli keep making stuff that looks great in every faction, and I'm like, can I not just put that together and make an army? And you're all like, no. And I'm like, sad face. So what we're looking at here today is Clausewitz Uhlans, and I can't say that first bit, but Tikbalangs.
All right, let's show the box on the camera so everybody can see what we're on.
Your naming conventions.
So here they are. Here, it's what appears to be a pair of tags.
They look badass.
They really do. They really do.
Even if they're not tags, they just look badass.
Yeah. No.
Because I don't know. Right, get the box.
I've got the box. I've got the box. Calm down. I've got the box.
I believe you have some.
I do.
Some statty stuff to show.
I have photoshopped up the stat lines so we can call them up on screen. But first,
these are heavy infantry, aren't they?
No, I think those are tags. Oh, look at this. That's nice.
Right. Well, you better show the people at home.
It comes with a custom base.
Ooh.
With a really nice logo on it, which is actually the logo you're going to look for in the Infinity Army Builder.
And there's the other one.
Yeah, the other one is more rough ground-like, which is very cool.
These are beautiful.
Yeah, they really are. It's one thing I like about Infinity these days is because whenever you have a look at your stat lines and stuff, you're actually going to see the logo here to actually tell you what's what. But what they've included in the Infinity Army now is whenever you use that BS weapons, you click on that and you get this nice sort of stat line down the bottom to actually tell you what it's got.
Yeah.
So it's got a HMG, which is always a good time in a can for any tag to have a hold of, because it's burst 4, power 50, damage of 15, and it's got suppressive fire on it. Lovely. I can't pronounce the next one, John. Do you want to have a look and see? Tell me what that is.
So we went from Clausewitz.
Uhlans. We're now looking at the weapons.
All right, so we're looking at Führerbach.
Yeah, so damage 14, burst 2 or 1 because it's got a couple of fire modes, AP and double action ammo, anti-material, and explosive ammunition as well. So you've got some really nice things on there, which could do some very nasty things.
So which one is Clausewitz?
So this is the easy way to do it. So this is the Uhlans, right? The Uhlans is the guy with the big blade.
Right.
So you see, or no, is the one without the big blade.
Right.
Okay.
So Clausewitz Uhlans is the guy with the blade.
No, Tikbalangs is the one with the blade. The Uhlans is the guy here with the HMG in his hand. So if we actually start going through a few of the bits, we will figure out what goes with what whenever John sits down to build them. Yes, I'm making you build them.
Okay.
We have metal components here. So we have some form of linkage for one of them. I think this perhaps goes onto a base or...
Yeah, that looks like on this...
yes, this is where his foot goes. So this builds on to the base to actually give you a little bit of a raised platform for the foot to go onto. So we then have this, which is one of the arms. The armor detail on this is really nice, really deep grooves and stuff. So if you get some washes and things down on this, it's just going to take it beautifully.
Yep.
We then have another bit of a raised platform to go somewhere else. This may be a double pack. It does happen sometimes.
Yeah, occasionally. Although probably...
possibly on somewhere. We then have the side-mounted Führerbach, I believe it is. We then have some armor plates and stuff to go on here. We will figure out where these go once we're building them.
Yep.
And then we have this, which is more armor plate.
Yes.
So
now I believe these packs are sort of character specifically laid out ones. So
yeah. So well, I am going to keep them separated into the piles and then rebag them so you can easily figure out. So that's for the other one, which is this guy here. I'll quickly show off its stat line as well, just while we're at it, so that you can see it. Tikbalangs is running around with anti-personnel mines. Yay! Good time in a can. It's got intuitive attack, concealed, disposable 3. That's not bad on damage 13 with shock ammunition. Our armor-piercing close combat weapon. It's off its physical. What's its physical? Physical 15. That's not bad.
Yep.
It's good for discover rolls, and he's rocking around with a heavy flamethrower, of course. Because who doesn't love burning goodness whenever you're on the Infinity tabletop and just going, by the way, everybody die in that general area.
Yep. Now, I have a thing, because I read the back of the box. It actually explains what they are.
Okay, cool.
Well, it says what they are. The Stingray 3 series are light remote presence tags.
I see.
So they're remotes.
Well, remote presence. It's one of the key things that Pan-Oceania does, is that they don't actually have pilots within their tags.
Yep.
You know, it's some guy sitting at a control console, you know, maybe in orbit or something, or in a facility.
Yep. It's all linked in.
They don't risk their good pilots, just their gear, which is a very clever thing. Here we have, I believe this is the Uhlans main body. So he is looking really lovely.
Yep.
You know, it's very organic looking.
Yeah.
That is the Uhlans, because this is the guy with one leg raised up really high.
Yep.
Which is going to stand on that little platform. And then the HMG, which for Pan-Oceania, the HMGs always look really, really mean and aggressive.
It's like an assault rifle on steroids.
Essentially, yeah. We then have his other leg there as well. And that will be all for him. The other one, which is now Tikbalangs.
So it must be these 2 packs for him.
I believe so, possibly.
So that looks like front and back torsos and stuff in there.
You see, I think you have 2 base sets, which are pretty much the same.
Almost.
Almost, I think.
Well, no, they are completely different.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
There's another, what appears to be another HMG there.
Yeah, but they're both carrying, one's carrying a longer version, one's carrying a shorter version.
Oh, I see. And then there's the other body type. Yes, you're right. So I'm guessing one of those is the flamethrower. I'm not sure which, to be honest with you.
Probably the shorter.
Straight leg, bent leg, and then the other components in this baggie. Open it up, and the bag doesn't defy me. Don't defy me. Don't defy me on camera. There we go. Here we are. So he's got his close combat weapon. That is a nice looking sword. It's a sword.
It's a sword. It's a really nice sword.
You see even the way the blade comes right down onto the guard?
Yeah.
That's very, very nice. Very cool. We then have shoulder plates with the actual symbol engraved into this. So that's a really nice detail. You're not going to have to freehand that. Just a little bit of wash, a little dry brush. That's going to be beautiful. We have his head with his little antenna. One thing the guys at Infinity have got a lot better with recently is, time was, whenever they first started out, you had lots of tiny little antennas and stuff to put on.
Yep.
These days it's all nice big connection points and stuff for that kind of thing. So that's the back of his torso there. So overall on the tabletop, these are going to be very, very interesting. You know, because they've got decent movement on them, they've got good physical, great close combat on this particular one, not so good on this one. Not too much availability, but you are going to have to pay for them.
Yeah.
But overall, fantastic looking miniatures. Looks as if you're going to be fit to do a lot of stuff on the tabletop with these. I love the... Oh, right, he's got HMG as well. That's what it is. Yep. So I haven't moved this quite far enough. It looks good. I think there's a lot to be done here. I'll tell you what, John, let's go ahead, have you build both of these. Yeah. And we will see how they look when we come back after the break. Okay, everybody, we are back with our Uhlans and Tikbalangs. Let's go with the Uhlans first, because I think he looks really mean now that he's built up.
Really does,
and primed, which actually really brings out the detail a lot more on him.
See, this is the thing. This is why I always like to prime the models we do on the unboxings, because when you have a full metal model like this, it doesn't do it any justice under camera until you've got like a dull color on there to see everything.
Yeah, I do love the way this has turned out, because it's a very dynamic pose. Seeing it, you know, stepping across a broken battlefield with its symbol on the base is very cool. Seeing the HMG on there is nice as well. And just, yeah, overall it's got some fantastic detail. I love the deeper sculpting engraving, because once you get some washes on this, it's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be beautiful.
First half. And then our other one just looks like a badass.
Doesn't it? It's almost like...
It's got that very much coming of a go if you think you're hard enough pose.
If Infinity did a movie and they were looking for an image for the box cover, that's it.
You mean the movie poster?
Yeah, the movie poster or the DVD box.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just that stood there going, you know, let's kill something.
Yeah, it's one of those things Infinity does really well, which is the heroic poses for miniatures. Because, you know, whenever miniatures were, say, back a generation or two, back in the early 2000s, you used to
sword
get
up and point.
Yeah, or the knife and fork weapon pose.
Yeah.
You know, Infinity stuff is so dynamic with their posing. They've captured that heroic moment, like a snapshot in time.
But it's the style that Infinity do it in. It's the either mid-combat or just after combat or
weapon at the ready stuff. Yeah,
they mix their poses up really well. Because nearly every model in the range is an individual sculpt on its own.
Pretty much.
Unless you're buying multiple boxes of the same item, your entire force is going to look entirely different.
Yeah, and
all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that's one thing I love about the Infinity stuff is because I mean whenever I sit down to do rank and file, I get bored quick.
You do.
Having the same sculpt to do over and over and over.
Yeah.
Not quite so with Infinity because it's just like, oh wow, this one has this here. Oh wow, this one has this here. He has his gun up. She has her gun down.
Yep. See, you approach that and you go, that's really cool and individual. And I approach that and go, I have to paint this when it's done. It's like, there's so many different colors I'll need for this. I just need to go to an online store and just be like, I need all the paint.
No, you need to go to the Army Painter and go, you know that complete set? Yeah.
I need 3 of those.
Yeah. Well, that's
pretty
one thing.
much.
You won't be fit to get them in the new year, I believe the limited edition. But,
sad face. Well, we still have the one in the office I can steal.
No, that's romance. You get the little one.
Steal.
You get the little one.
He's not here.
But no, it's incredible detail on these. Like I was pointing out on the front, not the front stage, first half of the video, having the engraved components in here is a really nice touch as well for the actual symbology and stuff. Because I've seen people try to freehand some of this stuff, but the detail that goes into the actual logos and stuff for the different factions and different units, it's quite the challenge to freehand that. And if you're not so good with it, it takes that away from you.
Yeah.
It means you don't have to.
What I will say is my biggest tip hat to Corvus Belli and the model designers and stuff is that over the years, not only have they improved the detail on the models, but they've made them easier to build.
Yeah.
So the build quality has improved, the style has improved, the details improved, and it's all been up and up in the last 2 years. Possibly, even 2 to 3 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was the guys at Infinity have really, really done well with the CAD design stuff now.
Yeah.
Because designing a tag in CAD is a lot easier than if you're traditionally sculpting it, because once you have half of the tag sculpted, you can mirror that and then change out the bits that you need to make it individual on either side. Yeah. So it allows for them to do a lot more work, a lot more efficiently.
Consistent detail and stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, having a painter like Angel Heraldes painting for them is just... It's the cherry on top of the beautifully iced cake that you look at through the window and go... It's one of those.
No, but the other thing is, whenever you're talking about the build quality, John, I understand exactly what you mean, because time was, whenever Infinity first came out, you would have maybe a 2 or 1 mil join point. You didn't know if it was flash or a component of the miniature.
Yep.
These days, they've actually changed the design ethos for the actual, if you have aerials and stuff, they'll actually be on a piece of armor plate already, and then the armor plate goes on with a nice big connection point, so it's stronger, it's more playable.
Yeah.
Because time was, I always said they were display minis.
Yeah,
but whenever they first were doing them.
They still have that look to them of a display mini. It's like, I really don't want to touch that, but I know now that the newer stuff
it's strong enough.
Is a bit stronger, and you'll still need to pin, obviously, if you're going to a lot of tournaments and stuff. Pin your models.
Yeah.
As you're building them, just very simple, saves a lot of heartache later on.
Yeah. It's one of those things I've wondered about is actually doing pinning. Now, I know our buddy Thomas Menes has played about with it a bit, but to actually pin something like this, actually getting the connection point to meet up properly has always been something I've been mildly nervous of for actually trying to pin. Do you have any advice for anyone that would be trying to do that?
It's just simple practice, really.
Right.
You could probably put like a dab of paint where you think you need the pin, put the components together, and then pull them apart and see where the other dab is, perhaps. Do that sort of thing. If you dry fit it with a bit of ink or something like that to get a stain on both parts of the model, and you just drill into those, that might be a good way to line it up. I haven't done a lot of pinning. That would be my approach.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. If you have any tips for pinning metal models, drop it in the comments below. If you have any ideas what you would like to play these with in an Infinity Force, drop that in the comments as well. Myself and John will move on here, and we'll see you in the next one.
It's time for 28mm World War II action. Will you recreate history or reshape it your way? On the Bolt Action Hub at beastsofwar.com. Humanity has been driven from Earth, but now it's time to take it back. Join the Reconquest and fight the Scourge on the Drop Zone Commander Hub at beastsofwar.com.